Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a Dear Fat Girl. It's been a minute. Did I just get lip gloss on my nose? This series, more than any other series, I refuse to ever force myself to film, and that's because I like for it to be as genuine as humanly possible. So I like to do these videos when something has been weighing on my mind and I feel like it could be of some benefit to someone watching this video right now. So that's the point that we're at. I have been thinking a lot about my previous relationships lately. Certain things keep popping up and I keep asking myself different questions, and this is stuff that I don't normally think about, so I felt like I should take a moment to really consider the answers because it can do you well to look at your life and ask yourself why you did certain things. And if you're able to be honest enough with yourself, which we're about to get honest, that it could be of benefit to you, because that way you can pick out certain things in the future and make sure that you don't fall into the same patterns that you have been, because a lot of us do that. We tend to go, I know me, especially when I was younger, I would do something, let's say I was in a certain kind of relationship and there were trust issues or something, and then we decided to end that relationship, and then I'd be in the next relationship and then we'd have the same issues, surprise, and then we would end that relationship and then I would go into the next relationship, and around we went, because I never dealt with what the issues really were, at least on my end. So it can help to look at your life and to really figure out, you know, why it is that you make some of the decisions that you make. So something that I have been thinking about a lot lately is, why did I stay in the relationships that I was in once I knew I was unhappy? I knew I wasn't attracted to the person that I was with. I knew that I was to the point of being grossed out by having sex with them or really doing anything sexually with them. One of them, I mean, I couldn't look at him. Another guy, the thought of kissing him, like, ugh, to this day, let's stop thinking about it. Like, I asked myself, Sarah, why did you stick around? Why did you waste your time and theirs once you knew that this is how you felt about them? And it's taken me forever to figure out why that is, and I think I figured it out. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I just want you guys to take a look at yourselves and to take a look at the relationships that you might be in, or relationships that you might have been in, so that, you know, you can be in the best situation possible for your life. I was thinking, you know, why did I stay in these relationships, right? Because I should have changed as a person from the time I was 16 to the time I was 25, and, you know, I should have figured some things out along the way. But I realized that from the time I was a child, from as long as I can remember, I wasn't a big fan of SRV, right? I wasn't a big fan of me. And now I feel great about myself. And I think it's obvious enough. I don't ever need to sit up here and tell you guys, I'm so confident, I think I'm cute. Like, I don't need to do that, because I think the way that I feel about myself is evident. So that's why I don't typically do that. I'm not up here calling myself a fierce bitch. Like, that's not me. It's okay if that's you, but it's not me. So those previous years when I was in these different relationships, and I would say I'm talking about 4 different relationships, I wasn't a big fan of myself. I, like many of you, didn't think that I was worthy of anything too great in life. I thought that I was like society's reject. I thought I was too fat. I was too ugly. I was never gonna be able to get what I wanted in life because my body wasn't up to par, because my body wasn't going to allow me to get those things. It would stop me from trying to do things. It would stop me from pursuing different opportunities. It would stop me from doing just about anything. I wouldn't go to the movies with my friends for fear that someone was gonna make fun of what I wore that day. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't attempt to do anything in school because I was afraid of failing. And it's one thing to fail, but it's another thing to be a fat person that fails, because then someone gets to call you out for another thing. And I felt like I already always had this freaking hump on my back. I already had something that I was dragging along through life with me, and that was being fat. And being fat in and of itself is such a boulder to carry through life. with. And it's something that everyone can see. And it's something that so many people want to pick out and remark on because it's so easy to do. And because they have no brain, or they feel like crap about themselves, and it makes them feel better to make other people feel like crap about themselves. They get to forget what kind of petty person they are for just 2 seconds when they see someone else in pain. So that's what I was already dealing with, right? I didn't like myself, and it took a long time to get to the point of being able to honestly say that I do like who I am. And I'm using the word like and not the word love for a reason. I was in relationships with guys that I fell in love with. I loved them. I grew to love them. Most of the time, I wasn't, truth be told, I wasn't physically attracted to them. I just wasn't with guys that I thought were, you know, like, he's fine. Like, I never had that. I wasn't ever really physically attracted to the guys that I dated, and the guys that I was in relationships with. I mean, my shortest relationship was like a year, and then my longest was like 4 years, and I had, you know, the other time frames right there in between. So I was never super attracted to them, but I did grow to love them and care about them. Just like I loved and cared about myself. I've always cared about myself. I don't want to see myself in pain. I don't want to see bad things happen to me. Just like I don't want to see bad things happen to the people that I love. I don't want to see the people that I love in pain, and I wish them the best in life, whether I'm involved or not. And I wish myself the best in life. Obviously I'm involved. But I didn't necessarily like them. When you like someone, you want to spend time with them. You find qualities that they have to be good. You enjoy their presence. You want to be around them. You want to spend time with them. You think good things about these people. You think that they are worthy of amazing things. You think that they are capable of amazing things. When you like someone, they make you happy. They bring you joy. Maybe they bring you money. Hell, I don't know why you like them, but when you like someone, liking something means it's a positive thing. I didn't like myself. I did not bring myself joy. I did not bring myself happiness. I did not think that I was worthy and capable of all kinds of things. I loved myself, and I didn't want to see myself get hurt. I didn't like myself and think that I was capable of achieving anything that I could dream possible. That was not the case. So I was dating guys that I didn't like. I didn't necessarily enjoy spending time with them. I wouldn't necessarily look forward to my little weekend trips to go see them. Some boyfriends were actually local, and I did like spending time with them sometimes, but ultimately deep down I knew they weren't the guy for me, but they were the guy that wanted me. So the reason that I would stick around and the reason that I would be in these relationships is because I didn't like myself, but that guy liked me. And I wanted to be around people that liked me. And I wanted to be with someone that liked me, because maybe he could convince me to do the same. Maybe when he told me that I was beautiful or capable or intelligent or a good person, whatever it was, right? Maybe when he said these words to me, or when his actions showed these things to me, maybe I would actually believe it. And sometimes I did. And sometimes it lasted a minute, and sometimes it lasted a day, and sometimes it lasted a month. But it never lasted forever. It would always dissipate. These feelings would always go away. But I found myself constantly being drawn to people that liked me, even though I didn't necessarily like them. And it doesn't mean that they are bad people. I'm still friends with, I would say, all but like one of them. And that's just kind of because life took us in different directions. But the other ones, I mean, I still talk to them on a fairly regular basis. And we're buddies. And we're cool. Because they were good people, but they weren't the right people for me. He was a good guy, but he was the wrong guy. And it took me a long time to realize this in each relationship. And ultimately, these relationships ended for piddly little reasons, like MySpace top 8, or I don't even know why some of them ended. I think it's easy to be in a relationship with a man that likes you, that's attracted to you. Especially when you are a fat girl. Because you go through life thinking, no one's ever gonna want me. And then when someone finally wants you, in my case at least, I would always think, this is as good as it's gonna get. Even though I don't necessarily like him, even though I don't necessarily picture myself being with this person, and this isn't necessarily what I desire for myself in life, I accept that this is what I'm going to get. And again, it doesn't mean that he is not up to par or that he's a bad guy. He's just the wrong guy. And I think the reason that I kept doing it over and over and over again, the reason I kept being in a relationship with guys that I wasn't necessarily into, is because I was never fixing the problem. And the problem was me. The problem was that I didn't like myself. I wasn't worthy of anything. I felt like crap about myself. And I would date guys, and it mattered too much to me what other people thought. Like, it mattered to me that I was dating a guy that most people probably wouldn't consider to be attractive. I dated a relatively short guy, and he was really dark skinned, and he was super duper skinny, and I think we looked funny together. And I hope he doesn't watch this, but if you do, you know it's all love. But I wasn't necessarily physically attracted to him. But I felt like this is as good as it's gonna get, and I should be happy with it. And this is probably gonna make me sound like such a bitch, but it's okay to not be attracted to everyone in life. And it's okay to not be attracted to someone who is attracted to you. And just because you're a fat girl, it doesn't mean that you should automatically be attracted to everyone because you're such a fucking charity case. Because you're not. You're not a charity case. You don't need to be in a relationship or give that guy a chance or go on a date with whoever just because you look the way that you look. Whether you're fat or whatever your thing is that you seem to not be able to get over, whatever your insecurity is, don't think that just because you have that insecurity and you can pick it out and you can pinpoint that insecurity and you know that you have it, don't think that just because you have that, you're not worth whatever the hell it is that you want. You're not worth the person in your mind that you've created that you want. And I'm not saying that that perfect person is gonna come along, but the wrong people are definitely gonna come along. And when you can spot those wrong people, don't feel like you owe them something, because you don't. You are not less than anyone else, and you don't owe anybody anything. You do not owe someone your time. You do not owe them your love, your affection. You do not owe them any kind of sexual favor just because they're with you, just because they want to date you, just because they said that you're cute or pretty or whatever, okay? Just because they said, oh, I love your curves, girl. Ugh, ugh, ugh. I don't even like when people say that. I really don't like when people use the word curves. I don't have curves. Bitch, I got body parts and they're big. That's what I have. Like, and it's okay to call it what it is. It took me a long time to get to the point where I could look at myself and I could look at other people and I could see beyond their physical appearance. I could see beyond their bodies. I could see beyond their height, their weight, their color, and everything else. It took me a very long time to get to this point. I know that you cannot tell me who I am based solely on the way that I look. You can't. You cannot tell me anything about the person that I am based on the way that I look. You cannot do it. You can't. You think you can, and you might try, but you can't do it. Just like I can't do it for you or anyone else. I like myself now, but it took a really long time to get here. And the internet was not very helpful, let me tell you. Because as much as I get these amazing comments and you guys are really nice sometimes, because I have trained myself to brush off all the negativity, I also have to brush off the positivity. So I don't let anyone's opinion of me affect my opinion of me, because it is a slippery slope. So when you tell me I'm a good person, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm still appreciative of the positivity, but it doesn't change the way that I feel about myself. Because if I let other people and other influences become my source of happiness and fulfillment in my own life, then that's it's a little rocky. What if all of a sudden nobody likes me? Then all of a sudden I'm not supposed to like myself? What if all of a sudden everybody thinks I'm hideous and stupid? Like, then I'm supposed to feel that about myself? I mean, you can't tell me I'm great and expect me to believe that, and then tell me I'm the worst and not expect me to believe that. So I try very hard to get everything from within or from God. I am a bit more religious these days, and it is helpful to me. You should figure out what your source is. My source of happiness, my source of fulfillment, my source of confidence is me. It's Sarah Rae Vargas. It's me. It's not you. And even though a lot of you leave me really positive, amazing comments, and you send me messages and emails and everything else, I have to brush off all the negativity that I receive, otherwise I would be a miserable human being. So I also kind of have to brush off all the positivity. While I fully appreciate it, and I promise you that I do, I cannot let the good or the bad outside opinions affect me. My source is me, and my source will have to continue to be me in order for me to function happily and as, you know, a normal human being without having mood swings every 10 minutes when someone leaves me a different comment. So figure out what your source is. Figure out what's stopping you. What's stopping you from being happy, from loving yourself? What is it? What's stopping you from liking yourself? Figure it out, pinpoint that, and then attack it. You know what I'm saying? Attack it. All right. I gotta go. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. If you want more Dear Fat Girl, you can always let me know any topic ideas or anything like that that you might have. Again, I don't push these videos, but sometimes you guys do stir up old memories. So if you want to see more of these, give me a thumbs up. Leave me any little comment or tidbit you might have down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.